there are some super popular luxury items that I just cannot get on board with. Have you bought those luxury items because you saw it on social media and you end up regretting it? I love fashion YouTube and social media, and I get a lot of inspiration from it. But in this video, I want to share with you some super popular luxury items that are just not for me and my lifestyle, at least not for now. Might be a little controversial, and these are just my personal opinions that I wanted to share with you, get your thoughts, and also offer up some, as you can see, I have some eye candies here that might be good alternatives, at least for me. So if this is something that you're interested in, then keep on watching. Hello, welcome or welcome back. I love fashion, luxury, styling, and everything in between. If you're into these topics too, then please consider subscribing and joining our community here. So the first item is the Loewe puzzle bag, especially in the mini size. As you guys may have known from my past videos, I love a good crossbody and a top handle. The very first time I saw that bag was years ago from a video by Karen Britt Shake. She's awesome, her channel is awesome, and it just looks so cool on her. And so I thought about it for a while, and then I went into a store and I tried it on. And when it was in the display, it looks beautiful. It looks just like how it looks on social media, but as soon as I took it out of the case and I held it in my hand, I stood in front of the mirror and instantly I knew it was not for me. It just was not me. It looks kind of geometric, kind of fun. To me, personally, it almost looks like a fashion interpretation of the Rubik's Cube, right? It's kind of whimsical. It's really interesting. It's kind of out there, very different. But for me, it just doesn't jive well with my personal style. I personally don't have a super quirky style or a super edgy style. And so I think that bag for some reason just did not look right on me. The second bag is the Alaia heart bag. And so I tried, I think on the same shopping trip, I might still have some footage from that trip that I'll try to insert, but I tried on the Alaia heart bag. It's beautiful. It's so kind of similar to me to the Loewe puzzle bag, in which like it's got a geometric, very sculptural look, and it's beautiful. Again, then once I start actually trying to unzip and zip it up, it was a no-brainer for me. It was just not for me. It was a deal breaker. And because for some reason the zipper was super fuzzy, and I'm not sure if it's because of the heart shape, right? Like you gotta zip, you know, up and down and up and down. And I don't know if it's just the display model that was kind of off, that was defective, but I just found the zipper super fuzzy. I could not see myself really using it. The capacity was fine because I don't really bring that much with me on a daily basis. But the problem is because it's such a narrow bag already, if the zipper is also fuzzy, it's gonna just be too hard to use. I just didn't find it very user-friendly. So that one pretty much also, as soon as I tried it on, I was like, I love the way it looks, but it's just not gonna work for my lifestyle. So what are some good alternatives? I would consider, at least in my personal collection, this bag to be a good alternative. So this is the Chanel nylon, and I think this is the medium flap. As you can see, it's basically the silhouette and the design of a classic flap, except it's in nylon. Obviously, it's got some very subtle prints, the Chanel logo prints, barely noticeable. And this one has the So Black hardware. So all of the hardware is in black also, which I love. Easy to match style with silver or gold or rose gold. And as you can see, it's a single flap. So it's very light because of the nylon, but also because it's a single flap. It's lined in leather, so it still feels luxurious, like it's a really nicely made bag. And so why do I consider this one to be an alternative? Because I think the other two bags for me were, at least they seemed like they were very practical and versatile, but they're kind of out there. They're kind of unexpected, right? There's a little twist. It's just kind of different from what most people would wear. And for me, this one, while it's got a very classic, shape, it's got the same, you can double chain it, wear it on the shoulder, or you can single chain it, and it goes very nicely over a coat, a jacket, right? So it's versatile, it's practical because of the color, and again, it's the So Black hardware, but it's also kind of, for me, it's kind of different and unexpected, right? Like when you see a Chanel classic flap, you think about the all leather version, you think about maybe the tweed version, but nylon is for me, pretty unexpected, and especially is suitable for my current needs, which is just sometimes when if it's raining, if we're going on the playground, I need to be just completely hands-free and carefree. This is my go-to. And so for me, in my current wardrobe, I think this one serves, kind of fills that role for me very well. And so I'm curious, do you have a bag in your collection where you feel like fills that role as well, where it's just kind of different, unexpected, but still very practical and versatile? Next category is a viral brand. And if you've seen my channel, you might be guessing which brand I'm talking about. And of course, I'm talking about the Loewe, the brand that everyone has been talking about, right? And specifically, there's a couple of bags from the Loewe that are very, very popular, especially on social media, that I have found just are not for me. So the first one is the obvious one, the Margaux. I think the Margaux looks beautiful on, fashion bloggers and styling shots on the streets of Paris or in New York. It's just gorgeous. It's a lovely bag. I went in store and I actually tried it on. This is back when they are still available in stores. I actually went to try it on. I tried on the size 10, so meaning it's 10 inches across. I thought that might be a nicer size for me because I don't usually use huge bags. But what I found is it is so deep, meaning the width is 10.25, I think, but it's 7 inches thick. So when you put it on your shoulder, which is one of my favorite features, right? The Birkin, a lot of people compare it to the Birkin, and one of the perks or the upsides of the Margaux is that it has a shoulder strap, so it's a little bit more versatile. But when I put it on my shoulder, I felt like it was sticking out so much from my body that it just did not feel like part of me, and I could see if I'm moving around, it would just be swinging, or it could be like hitting my toddler in the head, or what have you. But I just generally found it so bulky. So handheld, it looks perfectly fine, but then if we're actually trying to use the shoulder strap, it just was not a look that works for me. I don't think the proportions look, it just feels like it's sticking out a lot. And for comparison, also a little bit of eye candy, I'll just compare a couple of my bags that have similar width. One of the bags, so the obvious one is, the Birkin that I just got. I'll link my unboxing video below. This is my newest addition to my wardrobe. I just adore this bag, but anyway. So the reason why I'm comparing here is because this is a Birkin 25, meaning it's 10 inches across, right? So technically it's about the same width as the Margaux 10. And the Birkin is 5¼ inches this way. The Margaux, according to the website, is 7. And I happen to have another Loewe bag that has the same measurement here, so it's 7 here. So as you can see, it's quite a bit thicker. But this is a much wider bag, and so I think this proportion works. But think about if the Margaux is 10 across, but a lot thicker. It's just a lot more boxy. And so why do I not have a problem with this bag? As you guys know, I love this bag, even though it's the same width as the Margaux 10, because this bag is very squishy. Right? When I'm wearing it, it kind of goes down. It doesn't just stick out, right? And so I think that's my main issue with the Margaux, why I can't see it working for me. The other bag is the Loewe Park Tote. And again, another, theoretically awesome mom bag. You can just throw everything in there and go, right? And so I also tried that one on in the store, and they currently have 3 sizes, I believe, a small, a medium, and a large. And for those of you who are familiar with the Park Tote, you would know that the sizing jumps, it's not incremental. It's the size is very, very widely. So the small is actually quite small, but I think probably at this point, the capacity is just all I need. And then the medium, I thought would be the best for me because a little bit more capacity, but also you can put it on the shoulder. Seems like the perfect mom bag. But for some reason on my frame, so I'm 5'8", I'm about medium build, it seems weird. It seems like it should have been a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. It's just like an awkward in-between size for me personally. And then the large size is just massive. My normal life, first, I just don't need that much capacity. It's quite heavy as well because it's such a big bag, and they use very robust, good quality leather. But with a bag that big, I can't imagine using it without an organizer, which again adds weight, right? If you don't have an organizer, it's just a huge black hole that I wouldn't be able to find anything at all. And so, yeah, for now, I'm hoping that they'll come out with another size, or I'm considering the small because it's really cute, but again, top handle bag. And since I just got my Birkin, which is also a solely top handle bag, I need to figure out if I can even use top handle bags that much. And so for now, the park tote for me is a no. So what are some good alternatives? I would say not similar to the two bags that I just talked about. If you're interested in the Loewe though, this one is my favorite, the Loewe bag for now. And I'll link a detailed review video down below if you're interested. This is the Loewe Terrace bag. Goes on the shoulder. You can also handhold it. You can even use it like a clutch if you want to be a cool girl. And then as far as the Margaux, if you like that silhouette, but you don't want to spend that much money, or you don't like it for the same reasons I do, or otherwise, I would say there's a very interesting bag called from Loro Piana called the Cessia. And it's priced around the same as the Margaux 10, I would say, but on the secondary market, that's where you see the difference. The Margaux 10 probably sells at a slight premium at this point, but the Loro Piana Cessia, you can find it very easily in very good condition at around 1,000 to 1,500 range, which is awesome. And you can trust the quality coming out of Loro Piana as well. And it does have a very similar silhouette. It has a crossbody strap as well, as far as I know. And so check that one out if that's something that you're interested in, but the Loewe Margaux just does not work for you, either because you can't find it. Literally, you cannot buy it at this point, or if it's too expensive. The other one alternative is for the park tote. I would say there's a very accessible, made well, the essential bucket tote, and this one needs no introduction. This one in itself is a very viral, super popular bag on social media. A lot of the styling influencers that I follow have this bag, so it could be a very good alternative to the Loewe park tote. Third and final category is jewelry, especially the bangles that everyone seems to be going after and loving and stacking up. So specifically, those are the Cartier Love bracelet, Justin Kluke bracelet, and even the I think Perlay bracelet from VCA. So all of these like bangle type bracelets. They love beautiful on other people, especially when you stack them up and add your own creativity and express yourself with them. Love seeing them on other people. When I think about my own lifestyle, I sit in front of a computer, tapping on a laptop all day, and just the thought of those bangles clinging on everything, my laptop, I can just imagine it's gonna drive me nuts. It probably would drive people around me and people I work with, on call with, nuts. And so bangles are just not something that I'm looking to do. So what's a good alternative? I would say watches. And if you want luxury watches, go for luxury watches. But watches in general, watches nowadays, I feel like women's watches, some of men's watches, they are made so exquisitely, so beautifully. They are essentially jewelry, right? Like this one, you can change the band so to change the color, but also there's gold hardware. So it's so beautiful. It looks like a piece of jewelry. And so if you do want to dress up your wrist a little bit, add a little bit of personality on your wrist, and you maybe have a similar lifestyle where you're not running around all day to styling meetings or fashion week shows, but instead you have a 9 to 5, you're sitting in front of the computer all day. Watches are, I think, a great alternative for that kind of lifestyle. What do you think about these popular luxury items? Do they work for you, or do you also have your own alternatives that you would recommend to our community here? I would love to chat with you in the comments. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye!